Microphone check 1 2, test 1 2. Microphone check, test 1 2, check 1 2 3, check test 1 2 3 4. And good afternoon and welcome inside Nobby's Ballpark on the campus of Case Western Reserve University as the Spartans get set for a day of baseball here as they'll have a doubleheader against Brandeis. Case Western Reserve 18-6 on the season, 4-1 in conference play this year, and Brandeis 4-14 with an 0-1 UAA record. Yesterday, the Spartans struck the first blow in a close game, 5-3 over Brandeis University. It was a complete game, first of the career for Reese Marley yesterday, who threw 141 pitches in a gutty outing, scattering 6 hits and 6 walks, striking out 10, one shy of his career high, to help pitch the Spartans to victory. Back-to-back home runs in the fourth inning from Dane Camphausen and Nick Harms helped Case Western Reserve to that win. And now the Spartans will look to follow that up here today with a doubleheader against Brandeis. Spartans are out on the field, so let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for both teams, beginning with the batting order for the Brandeis University Judges. Jake Freed, the right fielder, leading things off. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Jordan Greenway, then Eddie Zahner, the first baseman, in the 3 spot. Brian King, the third baseman, hitting cleanup, followed by Dylan Walsh, the second baseman. Justin Keeler catching and batting 6th. Connor Crowley playing center field and hitting 7th. Matt Chafin, the shortstop, bats 8th. And then Evan Reef, the left fielder, will be in the 9 spot. Cooper Gavin on the mound. We'll tell you more about him when he takes the hill in the bottom of the inning. Defensively for the Spartans, same lineup out there that we saw yesterday. It'll be Dane Camphausen at first. Second baseman is Franco Alonso. The shortstop is Nate Arterburn. And the third baseman is James Powers. In the outfield from left to right, we've got Logan Andreyko, Matt Trout, and Nick Harms. Doing the catching is Jack Anderson, and on the mound will be the sophomore Archer Stankowski. Stankowski, be making his 7th start of the year, and he has been great for the Spartans this season. 4-1 with a 3.27 ERA. In 33 innings of work, he has struck out 38, walked just 14. He's given up 30 hits for a .231 opponent's average, and he will look to keep his success going here. Again, it has been a good start to the year for Stankowski. He's coming off 2 starts ago, striking out 13 batters in a game. And we'll now get things going with Jake Freed stepping to the plate. Freed, a .273 hitter on the season, takes a called strike, and the count goes to 0-1 as we are underway with the first of 2 games today right at the noon start time that was scheduled. The 0-1 popped up, fouled down the third baseline and out of play, and quickly the count 0-2 on Freed, who has a pair of home runs this season and has driven in 9 runs. Now Freed awaits the 0-2 pitch, and the breaking pitch stays outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Like much of the Spartan pitching, Stankowski's been very effective when he's worked in the strike zone this year, and that's going to be a key again today. And he gets a foul tip there, and as it hits the dirt, that'll keep the count at 1-2. So Freed settles back in. Freed, one of 4 lefties in the lineup today against Stankowski. It'll be Freed, Zahner, Walsh, and Reef, the 4 lefties. Fastball that time misses. Ticked off of Jack Anderson's glove as the count goes to 2-2. Grant Hutchison is our home plate umpire today. Jeffrey Clifford out in the field. Same 2 umpires we had yesterday, but in different positions. I imagine they'll switch again for game 2 today. Swing and a miss at a changeup, and that's strike 3. Nice pitch by Stankowski, who starts the day off with a strikeout. Freed retired, and that'll bring Jordan Greenaway to the plate. Greenaway did not get the start in yesterday's game, but came off the bench as a pinch hitter and struck out. And he bunts the first pitch there. Anderson pounces on top of it. Throw to first is in time to get him. Well, Jack Anderson with a nice play there, and a smart job by Anderson being the one to try to field that one. I don't know if Stankowski had tried to field that, if he would have had a shot to get the runner out at first. But Anderson, who is moving in that direction, has the clear view of first, doesn't have to make the turn after picking the ball up, and is able to just whip it down to first. And we know the capability, certainly, of Jack Anderson's arm, not just throwing out runners. He's a pitcher as well for this team. And he threw a strike to Camphausen at first to get the runner out. So 1-0 count now with 2 away on Zahner, who fouls off the pitch, and the count evens 1-1. Zahner has been the best hitter in this Brandeis lineup this season. The transfer from Wesleyan, 19 of 61 on the year for a .311 average. He has 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in, went 1 for 4 in the game yesterday. The 1-1. That's down low for a ball, 2-1. Zahner has drawn a team-high 14 walks this season. He's got an on-base percentage of .447 on the year, slugging at .525. 2-1, and a changeup swung on and missed that, 2-2. So Stankowski looking for a quick first inning of work ahead in the count. Well, pardon me, the count even at 2-2 on Zahner. Now Archer settles on the hill, working from the stretch, the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and a quick first inning for Archer Stankowski, who sets down the side in order, including a pair of strikeouts, and we'll move into the bottom of the first. The Spartans will come to bat looking to get on top early here in a scoreless ball game. Let's go ahead and tell you the Case Western Reserve lineup as we get set to get going. Logan Andreyko, the left fielder, leading things off. He'll be followed by the catcher, Jack Anderson, and then James Powers, the third baseman, hitting third. Nick Harms, the right fielder, batting fourth, and Dane Camphausen playing first and hitting fifth. Franco Alonso, the second baseman, hit sixth. Zach Carinci, the designated hitter, in the seventh spot. Matt Trout, the center fielder, bats eighth, and then Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, batting ninth. That's Andreyko, Anderson, Powers, Harms, Camphausen, Alonso, Carinci, Trout, and Arterburn, for the Spartans. Defensively for Brandeis, similar lineup as yesterday. Eddie Zahner at first. Dylan Walsh will be at second. The shortstop is Matt Chafin. And at third base, Brian King. In the outfield, left fielder is Evan Reif. The center fielder is Connor Crowley. And the right fielder is Jake Fried. Doing the catching is Justin Keeler. And on the mound is Gavin Cooper. Cooper, a sophomore from Beverly, Massachusetts, a right-hander who is listed at 6 feet tall. No record on the season for Cooper. Will be making his 4th appearance overall and his 3rd start through 7 innings over those 3 appearances, so has not gone deep in very many games yet this year. He's allowed 9 hits for a 300 opponents average. He's given up 7 runs, 6 of those earned for a 7.71 ERA. And again, in those 7 innings, he has struck out 8 and walked 5. So 14 base runners allowed in his, actually a little bit more than that. He's hit 3 batters as well. So a whip over 2 for Cooper Gavin, who has had to deal with a lot of base runners, again, in limited innings so far this year. And we'll see what he could do here today against a Spartan team that has been swinging the bats well as of late. Gavin completes his warm-ups, and he'll now settle in against the top of the Case Western Reserve order. Andreyko, Anderson, and Powers going here in the first inning for the Spartans. Andreyko to lead things off, the left-handed hitter, batting at .320 on the year with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Spartans in their navy blue uniforms today. Andreyko ready. The first pitch on the way from Gavin. Misses outside, ball 1. I was talking with Coach Englander before the game as that one swung on, hit in the air, down the line and left, and that's down for at least a base hit. Andreyko turns the corner at first, and he'll pull into second base with a double. And it's a leadoff double for the Spartans, who early on have something cooking here in the inning. So Andreyko gets things going for Case Western Reserve, and now it'll be up to Jack Anderson to try to drive him in. Anderson now leading all Spartan hitters with a .382 batting average. He's got 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in, and enters today's game with 198 hits for his career, just 2 shy of becoming the 4th Spartan in program history to collect 200 hits. He takes the first pitch there down low, and it's a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0 on the way. And that one catches the outside corner. Nice job by Keeler to frame that pitch up on that outside edge, and it evens the count 1-1 on Anderson. Now the 1-1 to Jack. And he takes the fastball at the knees that time for a called strike, 1-2. Anderson, an All-America second-team selection last year, a preseason All-America first-team selection this year. He awaits his 1-2 from Gavin, who rocks and delivers. And Anderson wastes that one foul. 1-2 still. Again, mentioned Jack now leading the team once again in batting average. He moved ahead of James Powers after collecting a hit yesterday. That pitch misses outside, and it's 2-2. Gavin looking back over his shoulder at the base runner. Now the 2-2 on the way. And a little low, 3-2. So the count goes full, 3-2 on Anderson with nobody out. If you're Gavin here, you certainly don't want to issue a walk, but also you need to make a pitcher's pitch here with a good hitter at the plate. Here's the 3-2. And that's inside, ball 4. You can see he came with his breaking pitch there, 3-2. So did not come straight fastball, and Anderson able to take it for ball 4, but now that will put 2 on with nobody out for James Powers, a dangerous hitter in his own right at the plate. Powers hitting at .369 on the season, awaits the first pitch from Gavin. And a swing and a miss, and the count goes to 0-1 on Powers, who struggled a little bit at the plate yesterday. James went 0 for 4, did have an RBI on a hit by pitch in the game, but an uncharacteristically 0 for 4 day at the plate for Powers. And he takes a breaking ball there for a strike, 0-2. I neglected to mention this yesterday, but Powers picked up his 200th hit over his NCAA career during the series against Emory. Congratulations to James on that, who swings and fouls that off. Count stays at 0-2. But Powers has been a tremendous addition to this Case Western Reserve lineup. You could see what he did in the Chicago series, where Chicago tried to play him in a variety of different ways. They played him to pull, they played him to go the opposite way, and James was hitting the ball wherever they weren't. That ball sneaks through the catcher, and moving up a base each are Anderson and Andreyko. And it's now second and third with nobody out, and the Spartans have a chance to get on the board here early. That one misses outside, and the count evens 2-2. Well, tough task here for Gavin today against this Spartan lineup, which has been swinging the bats very well all season long. And Powers checks his swing and takes it, ball 3. So the count now full. Gavin's already thrown 15 pitches, 7 in the strike zone. Still looking for his first out. First base is open here, but Nick Harm's out on deck, and you do not want to face him with the bases loaded. And that's exactly what will happen. Well, maybe not, as that misses for ball 4, and coming in to score on the wild pitch is Andreyko. And that makes it a 1-0 Case Western Reserve lead. So no RBI on the play. And now Nick Harms comes to the plate with the Spartans leading in the game. Harms hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday. His program record increasing 25th home run of his career. And a chance here to add to a 1-0 lead. He takes ball 1 up and out. And that will bring the pitching coach out to talk with the sophomore Gavin, who has struggled to find the strike zone here early on in this start. He's thrown 17 pitches, just 7 of them for strikes. He's issued back-to-back walks after giving up a double to start the game. And again, when you come into a day like this, you know you've got 18 innings of baseball, or potentially less, but certainly you come into it thinking 18 innings. And the last thing you want is for your starter to have a short outing here. But Gavin's pitch count already up high. 17 pitches so far here in the first, and still nobody out. The Spartans with runners on the corners. Powers at first, Anderson at second. Powers tied for, Anderson at third. As Harms pops that one up down the third baseline, but into the bullpen. And the count evens 1-1. Powers is a threat to run. He leads the team with 11 stolen bases. In fact, tied with Harms for the team lead with those 11 stolen bases. And the judges have been prone to giving up stolen bases this season. 1-1. Outside with a breaking pitch, and it's 2-1. Three and one. Brandeis in double play, depth in the infield. They'll trade a run for 2 outs if they can turn it, but we need Gavin to find the strike zone here. His 3-1 pitch. If he misses here, he would load him up for Dane Camphausen, who's swinging as hot of a bat as anyone in the country. Harms fouls that one back, and now the count goes full once again, 3-2. We'll see if Powers is moving here, 3-2. He is running, but the pitch is in the dirt, ball 4. And that will load them up for Dane Camphausen. Well, this situation could quickly become a nightmare for Gavin as he faces Camphausen, who is on some kind of tear right now. He's homered in each of the last 3 games he's played in. He has 8 total home runs now on the season. That leads all Case Western Reserve University players. He's just 3 shy of the program record for a season, and that pitch misses outside. It's 1-0. Camphausen, it's tied for the team, second on the team with 32 runs batted in this year. And he hits that in the air deep towards the gap in right center field, and that one will go over the wall. A grand slam for Dane Camphausen. He goes the opposite field again. He connects on a home run for the 4th straight game. It's his 9th of the season, and the Spartans jump out on top 5-0 in the first inning. I have been calling Division III baseball games now for approximately 20 years, and I've never seen anybody do what Dane Camphausen has done the last 3 weeks. Unreal. So the bases were loaded. Camphausen unloads them with 1 blast. And the batter now is Franco Alonso, who squares to bunt and takes a called strike, 0-1. Well, Dane Camphausen drove in 13 runs in 2.5 games at Emory University last weekend. He now has 5 RBIs in his first game and in a bat here against Brandeis. 18 RBIs is enough to lead the conference some seasons in conference play. And, well, he's got that already, and he's only 5+ games into the conference schedule here. Unreal. Just absolutely unbelievable. It's now 1-2 count. And that's fouled back as Franco Alonso stays alive. Franco hitting at .329 on the season, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. He went 2 for 4 with a double yesterday. The 1-2. And that's down low for a ball, 2-2. You know, the other thing with Dane, and, you know, certainly said it a lot, but he's hitting home runs to right center field as a right-handed batter. And Alonso fouls that one back. You just don't see that kind of power at this level. Guys who could just muscle balls over the wall in right center as right-handed hitters, and especially at this ballpark. That's a 380-foot home run, if not more, to right center field that he hit just now. It's just not something your typical Division III baseball player does. Fouled off again, and the count stays at 2-2 on Alonso. Two-two pitch. And on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And on the 32nd pitch of the inning, Gavin gets his first out of the frame. So one gone now, bases empty for Zach Carinci. Carinci, the designated hitter, hitting at .288 on the season. His average continues to climb as he seems to be rounding back into form. He went 3 for 5 in yesterday's game with a double. The double was a really nice piece of hitting by Carinci. 1-0. And a called strike catches the upper inside corner. Carinci was behind in the count 0-2. Maestri, the starting pitcher, who had thrown him back-to-back breaking balls to start the at-bat, tried to sneak a fastball by him on the inside corner, left it hanging just a little bit over the strike zone, and Carinci spun on it and ripped it down the left field line for a double. The 1-1. That's down low for a ball, 2-1. Carinci, the senior, out of Twinsburg, Ohio. About a 35 to 40-minute drive from here. Fouls that one back. Said it before, Zach's a little bit of an X factor for this team. As if he gets going, this lineup really, really lengthens for the Spartans. That ball popped up foul territory. Zahner trying to get underneath it, but it lands well down that left field line and takes a hop over the fence. Count stays at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gavin gets back-to-back strikeouts, 2 gone in the inning now, and that'll bring Matt Trout to the plate. Well, for Gavin, certainly velocity not the issue today. He has got some zip on that fastball. I think, and again, it's tough to judge, but I'm just not sure he always knows where his pitches are going, and where he's got him burned a little bit this inning is not just missing out of the strike zone, but when he misses, it's missing over the plate sometimes too. Trout fouls off the 39th pitch of the inning from Gavin, and it's an 0-1 count. Again, he's coming up on 40 pitches now, and the Brandeis bullpen will begin to warm behind him out in center field. Oh, 0-1 the count on Trout, who enters the game hitting a 160 on the year. And a pitch clock violation called there, so the count goes to 1-1. And that's in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. Trout off to a similar start this year to what we saw with him last year. Remember, for Matt, he was in the starting lineup early in the season last year and was driving in runs, but his batting average was on the lower side. That ball hit up towards the middle. Backhanded by the second baseman. Throw is on to first in time to get the out. And Trout's retired, so the Spartans put the first 5 base runners on. And a grand slam by Dane Camphausen, his team leading 9th home run of the season, gives the Spartans a 5-0 lead. We'll move to the top of the second inning. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up for Brandeis. King, Walsh, and Keeler due up when we come back. Well, first inning grand slam for Dane Camphausen gives the Spartans that 5-0 lead. The Spartans getting 5 runs on just 2 hits. In that first inning. And we'll move along into the top of the second as Archer Stankowski, after seeing the side down in order with a pair of strikeouts in the first, back out to work now with a 5-run lead. And again, it comes back to him trying to fill that strike zone up here, especially with some breathing room to work with. But now if you're Stankowski, and especially if your team spots you a big lead, the goal once again becomes throw strikes, locate in the strike zone, and try to get as deep into this game as you can to save that bullpen. 1-1 now the count as it misses outside. Batter at the plate is Brian King, hitting a 180. He's got 1 home run and 7 runs batted in this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's it in the air, right center field. They had him played perfectly out there as Trout, on what would have been a ball in the gap, instead just has to take a few strides to his left and puts it away for the first out of the inning. Well played defensively there by the Spartans, who shifted right to where King hit it. And so there's 1 gone in the inning now, and that will bring up the second baseman, Dylan Walsh, left-handed hitter, batting at .210 on the season. And he rockets that one towards left field and deep, but Harms is there, and he'll put that away for an out. 2 gone. So 2 quick outs here in the second for Stankowski, who missed a few more bats in the first inning than he did here in the second. But my guess is that's a little bit by design at this point. So 2 outs now for the catcher, Justin Keeler. He's hitting a 156. And the pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 offering from Stankowski. Fastball swung on and missed at 1-1. Keeler 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday, starting his 2nd straight game of the series at catcher. And Keeler was hit by a pitch, and so Brandeis will have their first base runner of the game.
Adding 7, center fielder number 19, Connor Crowley.
So Keeler on. And the batter will be Connor Crowley, the center fielder. Another left-handed bat in the lineup. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. Down low, 1-1. 5-0. Spartans are leading in this one. The 1-1 offering to Crowley from Stankowski. Outside corner 1 and 2. Pardon me, it looks like 2 and 1. And foul tip back, 2 and 2. And on the outside corner with the changeup called strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Stankowski, who works around a 2-out hit batter. And we'll move along into the bottom of the second. The Spartans looking to add to a 5-run lead. It's 5-0 Case Western Reserve. 9-1 and 2 in the order. Arterburn, Andraco, and Anderson when we come back. Case Western Reserve University leading 5-0. Nate Arterburn pops one up in foul territory. Zahner there and reaching back makes the catch for the out. And on the first pitch of the inning, a quick out recorded by Gavin, who has settled in nicely since the grand slam, retiring 4 straight batters, but now back to the top of the order. And that'll bring up Logan Andraco, who doubled in his first at-bat. 7th double of the season for Andraco, who's now hitting at .327 on the year. He came around to score his 29th run of the season on a wild pitch later in the inning. And takes the first one up high from Gavin, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Spartans sending their AAA lineup to the plate this inning. Arterburn, Andraco, and Anderson. With Andraco sandwiched between the other 2 A players. Takes that down low for ball 3. Imagine, even though the Spartans typically will get the green light in these situations, you'll see Andraco take here against Gavin. Nope, he's swinging. Pops it up, shallow left center. And the catch made by Crowley for the second out of the inning. A little bit surprised to see Andraco swinging there, 3-0. And again, he's going to get the green light, but considering some of the control issues that Gavin has exhibited today, a little bit surprised that that's the opportunity he chose to jump on the 3-0. Instead, it'll be 2 outs and the base is empty for Jack Anderson, who takes a first pitch fastball in the outside corner. 5 straight now sat down by Gavin. And after throwing over 40 pitches in the first inning, now a chance to get through the second one relatively quickly, but big stumbling block in his way here in Jack Anderson, who drew a walk in his first at bat and eventually came around to score a run on the Camphausen grand slam. That one in the dirt. And the count goes to 1-2. And just getting a piece of it. Good job to stay alive there by Anderson. Count stays at 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike three, and that ends the inning. So the Spartans go down in order. 6 straight retire by Gavin. We'll move into the third. It's 5-0 Case Western Reserve. Archer Stankowski back out to begin his third inning of work and starts it off with a ball down and out to the 8-hitter Matt Chafin. It'll be Chafin, Reef, and Freed. 8-9-1 the order for the judges, who are looking to come back from a 5-0 deficit early on. Chopper it up towards the middle. Chance for Alonso at second base, and his throw is wild. And everyone will be safe. They're going to move the runner up a bag. And I'm not sure why. It looked like that bounced off the netting. But they called the play dead. The home plate umpire, Grant Hutchison, signaled the play dead. So that'll go as an error on the Spartans on the throw by Alonso, and it allows the runner to move up to second base on the play. I think for Alonso, what happened there, that ball last second took a little bit of an awkward hop, and I just think that prevented him from setting his feet right when he threw, and his throw sailed well to the left and high of Dane Camphausen at first base. Coach Englander out there talking with the two umpires, well, with home plate umpire Grant Hutchison, trying to sort out whether or not the runner should be at first or at second. And we'll see what the final ruling is. And the ball appeared from here to stay in play. I'm not sure what the umpires saw differently. But again, I don't have that view of where that ball was the entire time. And indeed, they will send the runner back to first. And I think that's the right call. Either way, it goes as an error, and the leadoff man is on here for Brandeis, is Chafin on at first base. And the batter now will be Evan Reef, the left-handed hitter. Now, Derek Carlson, head coach for the Judges, will come over and talk to Hutchison as Reef steps up to the plate. Reef, 1 for 11 to start his season. He's making just his third start of the year, appearing in his 12th game overall. The left fielder has 1 hit in those 11 bats. It was a single. He's driven in 1 run. And we'll see if he's bunting here to try to move the runner up with a 5-run deficit, but early in this game. Lefty at the plate. It might be a situation where he's bunting to try to reach on a hit as much as anything else. Nope, takes a big swing and misses. And the count 0-1. So no signs of bunting certainly on that first swing by Reef. We'll see if he's potentially trying to lay one down here with an 0-1 count. Powers playing on the edge of the grass. Is that one swung on back up towards the middle, but that one takes a favorable hop to Alonso. It's a second for one. Throw to first, takes a hop and bounces away. And so it'll go as a fielder's choice. No error on the play on the return throw by Arterburn, but certainly a ball that should have potentially been a double play. And with one out now, Reef the runner at first, and back to the top of the order for Jake Fried, who struck out swinging in his first at bat.
Now batting number 21, the right fielder, Jake Fried.
Fried, again, 0 for 1 today. Started all 19 games for Brandeis this season, batting at .269. He's got 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in, 5 doubles on the year for Fried. It's Stankowski trying to keep the runner close. And down and away for a ball. 1-0 the count on Fried. Spartans turned a pair of double plays in yesterday's game behind Reese Marley. Almost had their first of the day just moments ago. And that went up in the air, center field and playable. Trout now coming in. And on the run makes the grab for the second out of the inning.
Now batting designated hitter number 24, Jordan Greenway.
So 2 gone now for Jordan Greenway, who bunted one out in front of the plate, attempting to reach on a base hit his first time up, but Jack Anderson, the catcher, making a nice play on it. Retiring Greenway for the out. Greenway now hitting at .219 on the year and takes the first pitch, a fastball low, 1-0. Another one low, 2-0. In other UAA action, NYU is leading Emory 6-1 in the bottom of the second inning in Staten Island. The only other UAA game happening today, Wash U on its bye week, as that misses outside ball 3. So it's 3-0 now on Greenaway. And he takes a strike, 3-1. Stankowski now at just 34 pitches with 2 outs here in the third. Again, he's a guy we've seen. He could go deep into games. Another strike. Good job with the fastball that caught the upper outer corner of the strike zone. And the count now full 3-2. So Reef will get the early start from first with a 3-2 count and 2 away. Camphausen takes a few steps and plays behind him as the pitch on the way. And it swung on, grounded towards the hole. Powers, though, cuts it off, throws to first, and it's in time to get the out. And that will end the inning. So the Spartans and Stankowski work around an error to lead off the inning and keep Brandeis scoreless. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left on. The bottom of the third coming up in the heart of the Case Western Reserve order. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen when we come back. Cooper Gavin back out on the hill for Brandeis. He's done a nice job settling in here, now trying to give the judges some distance in this game. If nothing else, and frankly, that'd be a really good job. He sat down 6 straight batters since giving up the grand slam to Camphausen, who looms in the hole. Third up this inning behind Powers and Harms. Powers stands in, drew a walk, and came around to score a run in his first at bat. First pitch on the way. And it's a called strike on the outside corner to Powers, 0-1. Powers hitting at .369, looking for his first hit of the series. And it's in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Five to nothing. Spartans leading. No runs, no hits, no errors for the judges. 5 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Case Western Reserve in the game. And that one catches the inside corner for a called strike, 1-2. Again, 5 runs in the bottom of the first for the Spartans. That pitch misses outside, 2-2. Meat of the Spartans order due up this inning with Powers, Harms, and Camphausen. And foul tip back into the catcher's glove for strike 3. So Gavin retires his 7th straight batter. And that will bring Nick Harms to the plate. Harms drew a walk and scored a run back in the first. Batting at .283, 5 home runs. Second on the team now with 33 runs batted in this year. Called strike to Harms, 0-1. Outside, ball 1, 1-1. Harms' home run yesterday was pulled just over the wall in right field. He's got one high up in the air. And it kind of snuck right around that foul pole, and at the time, a huge hit for the Spartans, and was a huge hit in that game. As it turned a 3-2 deficit into a 4-3 lead for Case Western Reserve. That one popped up. Left field. Struggling with the wind, but making the catch in left is Evan Reef for the out. And there are 2 gone, and Gavin will face Camphausen with the bases empty, which right now is exactly how you want to face Dane Camphausen. Camphausen now 18 runs batted in his last 5 games played. He's hit 4 home runs during that stretch. And he takes that pitch inside, ball 1, 1-0. That's 18 runs batted in 5 games. Just unreal, the stretch he's on now. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-1. And you're sort of at the point now with Dane where every time he comes to the plate, you expect him to do something that your jaw just sort of drops at. He has hit some majestic home runs this year. The 1-1. And a swing and a miss, 1-2. Dane now up to 9 home runs on the season, 2 shy of the program record set by Harms last year. The 1-2. And it misses a little inside, 2-2. Dane from McLean, Virginia, played his undergraduate career at the College of Worcester. In his first year at Case Western Reserve, he does have another year of eligibility after this one as he sends one sky high down the line in right. Zahner back, but can't get to that, and the count stays at 2-2. Gavin now up to 66 pitches, but He's done a good job after throwing 40 pitches in the first inning of really limiting his pitch count since. And again, mentioned the importance early on of starting pitchers in these 4-game conference series, just giving their teams length. It's huge. You just don't want to have to delve too deep into your bullpen too early into these games. 2-2 on the way, and Camphausen takes the breaking ball low, and the count goes full 3-2. Well, the situation here if you're Gavin, where, again, you don't necessarily have to throw a fastball here to Camphausen. Not sure you should. As Camphausen lines that one, red-hot shot off the bat, and it took a nice catch by King to take that one away from Camphausen. And even his outs are loud right now. It's a 1-2-3 inning, 9 straight retired by Gavin, and we'll move along into the fourth. Brandeis trailing Case Western Reserve 5-0, and coming to bat, they'll send the heart of their order. Zahner, King, and Walsh due up when we return. Eddie Zahner, the batter for Brandeis, leading off here in the fourth. 5-0 Spartans. 3 hitless innings so far for Stankowski, who has allowed just 2 base runners to reach so far. Zahner, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat, takes that pitch down and in, 1-0. And another one down low, 2-0. 5-0 Spartans leading. All 5 runs coming in the first inning. And a good job by Cooper Gavin to really settle in on the mound for the Judges. Again, since giving up that grand slam to Camphausen, he's now retired 9 straight batters. And in what could have been a really rough start, has certainly turned things around. That one misses outside, and the count goes to 3-1. It'll be Zahner, King, and Walsh this inning. 3, 4, and 5 in the Brandeis order to face Stankowski, who delivers his 3-1 pitch, a fastball fouled away by Zahner, and it's 3-2. Mentioned that Zahner played his undergraduate career at Wesleyan. That one hit hard up towards the middle. Diving stop by Arterburn. Can he make a throw? Yes! Nate Arterburn with a tremendous play at short. I don't know how he even got to that one, let alone rolled over it and threw it on to first. Unbelievable play. Arterburn, who was shifted slightly towards that second base side to begin with, but still had to make the play on the first base side of the second base bag, and got up quickly enough to throw out Zahner for the first out of the inning, and it keeps it as a hitless game here as King fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. King flew out to center field in his first trip to the plate. Now the 0-1, and a swing and a miss, 0-2. Stankowski held on to that one a little too long as it sails wide of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And pop foul and out of play. Count stays at 1-2. Stankowski at 46 pitches now. Again, the Spartans have everyone in their bullpen today, thanks to Reese Marley, who threw 141 pitches in a complete game yesterday. And the breaking ball taken on the inside corner for strike 3. King down looking. 4th strikeout of the game for Stankowski. And with 2 gone now, that will bring Walsh to the plate. Walsh, the left-handed hitter, 0 for 1 in the game. A fly out to right field in his first at-bat. Got a pretty good piece of it, but Harms was back there to make the play. Can't hold up on that pitch, and it's 0-1 on Walsh, who's now batting at .206 on the year. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, the ball in the dirt. See if Anderson can complete the play. He can. And the inning's over. So Stankowski with a 1-2-3 inning, including a pair of strikeouts in the 4th. He's held Brandeis hitless through 4, and we'll move to the bottom of the frame with the Spartans leading 5-0. 6, 7, and 8 in the Case Western Reserve order. Alonso, Carinci, and Trout due up when we come back. Welcome back once again. Case Western Reserve with a 5-0 lead, clinging to that since the first inning of the game. Franco Alonso struck out looking at his first bat and takes a ball inside, 1-0. Cooper Gavin back out on the hill, and again, he has done a really good job since a rocky start to the game, but after retiring 9 straight, Franco Alonso singles up the middle for a base hit, and the Spartans have the leadoff man on here in the 4th. So for Alonso, that's his 3rd hit in 2 games so far in the series, and now Zach Carinci will step to the plate after striking out swinging in his first at-bat. Carinci now hitting a .283. Pickoff attempt at first. Alonso, 6 steals on 7 attempts this season, and the Spartans, again, will be active on the base paths this entire weekend against a Brandeis team that has struggled throwing out runners at times. That one misses inside, and it's 1-0 on Carinci. Well, the power numbers for the Spartans are certainly jaw-dropping at times. This is a team that does manufacture runs as that one hits Carinci. And that will put 2 on with nobody out, and a chance for Case Western Reserve to just break this game wide open right now with the first 2 runners reaching here in the 4th. And Matt Trout coming to the plate. Trout 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base in his first trip to the plate. He's batting a 154 on the season now. Keeler coming out, flashing some signs to his defense. And a called strike on the lower inside corner. I give Brandeis a lot of credit, and I'll explain why here in a second. You can look at the stats. I'm sure the players, to a certain extent, look at the stats and see what those numbers are coming in, and they know the kinds of teams that they're facing as Trout swings and misses 0-2. And the Spartans come in as a team that has stolen, at least coming into today's game, 56 bases on 66 attempts. And Brandeis has allowed 42 stolen bases this season on 46 attempts. So the teams know this, and you could see Brandeis is trying some different ways to control that running game as a swing and a miss, and Trout down on 3 straight pitches. But, so, again, if you're Brandeis here, you know that if a team is going to attempt to steal, the odds are in their favor that they'll be successful, just based on what their numbers have been this season. But you do other things to control the running game and try to help. As that catches the outside corner to Nate Arterburn, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out to first base. And so what I'm impressed with is how the catcher, Keeler, will come out almost any time a runner's on second base, flash the signs to his infielders. How are we going to handle a situation if the runners go? Who's going to cover? And there you go. As that one bounces away, the throw goes to third, but not in time. And it'll go as a stolen base for Alonso, who they threw behind the runner, but he's able to reach successfully. So it's now first and third. With 1 away. And again, you see Keeler, the catcher, coming out and flashing the signs to his infielders. So, you don't just control the running game by throwing guys out. And I think that's kind of the moral of my tale here, is that there are a lot of other things that you could do as a pitcher. You could be quick to the plate. You could vary your time to the plate. You could check the runners on the base. You could do that, look over your shoulder. If you're the catcher, you can make sure your communication with the infielders are good. And Brandeis has done those little things to at least help here. That ball popped up right field along foul territory. The catch is made in foul territory. Tagging from third and coming in to score is Alonso, and we see that play on the base path looming large there, as Nate Arterburn will get the sacrifice fly on a ball to right field, and it's now a 6-0 Spartans lead. Carinci holds it first on the play. For Arterburn, it's his 11th run batted in this season, and now back to the top of the order as Logan Andreyko will bat here with 2 outs and a runner on at first. Andreyko 1 for 2 with a double, and I imagine we'll see Carinci running at some point here as Andreyko squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike 0-1. Again, Carinci has stolen 6 bases on 9 attempts this season, but is a pretty good base runner. We'll pick him off at first, or at least try to pick him off at first, but he gets back. But again, Zach, I would imagine here at some point, if he's given the chance, will try to get into scoring position for Andreyko. Looking runnerish at first here. Not running, though, on the play is the pitch taken for a strike. And now 0-2. And I would imagine that this will be the pitch that we'll see Carinci take off on with an 0-2 count. Now we'll see if Gavin throws over here. Nope, not running, and it's outside for a ball, 1-2. 6 runs on 3 hits now for the Spartans. It's a 6-0 Case Western Reserve lead. Runner goes this time. The pitch outside for a ball. The throw is offline, and it's a stolen base for Carinci. So Carinci gets his 7th stolen base of the year and does indeed get into scoring position for Andreyko, who now faces a 2-2 count at the plate. 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2, and the count now full. Again, if you're Gavin here, you kind of have your choice of how you want to attack this situation, but you don't necessarily need to throw a fastball here with first base open. You do have an All-American looming out on deck, though, so get to pick your poison, if you will. That ball sent fouling out of play and nearly takes out a car down the left field line here on 115th Street. Count stays at 3-2 on Andreyko. 85th pitch of the game coming up here for Gavin. From the stretch, rocks and delivers, and it misses ball 4. Stayed a little down low, and so Andreyko draws the walk. That is the 4th walk of the game issued by Gavin. Brandeis pitching has now walked 12 batters in 11 2/3 innings this series. As Jack Anderson to the plate, swings and grounds one over to third. Should be an easy play as a throw to first in time to get the out for the third baseman King. And that will retire the side, but the Spartans add on a run here in the 4th on a hit and leave 2 men stranded. We'll move to the top of the 5th. Brandeis will send up Keeler, Crowley, and Chafin, 6, 7, and 8 in their order. Spartans leading 6-0 when we come back. Archer Stankowski will begin his 5th inning. Still yet to allow a hit in this game. He's retired 6 straight batters. Only 2 base runners have reached against him today. Keeler, who will lead off the inning. One of those 2 was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning.
Now batting for the judges, catcher number 13, Justin Keeler.
Keeler, I think, took one off of his forearm with 2 outs in the 2nd. He's now hitting a 156 on the season. Stankowski delivers the first pitch, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 1. You know, Coach Englander said before this series of the team, there's 3 things they need to do, and basically all 3 of them involve not beating themselves up there in this series. Is another swing and a miss 0-2. It's don't issue walks, don't swing at bad pitches, and don't commit errors in the field. And he felt pretty confident about his team's ability this weekend. And certainly today that's been the case. Is a swing and a miss at a pitch well outside. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Keeler retired for the first out of the inning. That's now 3 straight strikeouts in the game for Stankowski. And 6 overall now with 1 out in the 5th. And that will bring up Connor Crowley with 1 out and the bases empty. Crowley, one of the 6 strikeout victims. He struck out looking back in the 2nd. That ended that 2nd inning. First pitch fastball, a little bit inside to the left-handed hitting Crowley, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 offering. Outside for a ball, 2-0. Called strike, 2-1. Stankowski has done a good job managing his pitch count so far. 56 pitches thrown, 36 of those in the strike zone here with 1 out in the 5th. And misses a little low with that one. It's now 3-1. 3-1 pitch. And that's low, ball 4. So the first walk issued today by Stankowski comes with 1 out in the 5th. And Crowley on base now for Matt Chafin. Chafin reached on an error in his first trip to the plate, hitting a 204 on the season. And it's taken down low for a ball, 1-0. Two and 0. All of a sudden, Stankowski struggling to find the strike zone here a little bit, and that will prompt pitching coach Steve Grunberg to take a walk out to the mound. It's one of those situations where if you're Grunberg, you're probably not necessarily correcting much. You just want to give Stankowski a minute or two to reset here after he's been very effective early on in this game, and really the goal just to calm him down here and make sure he gets back to throwing strikes with regularity. And for Stankowski, 60 pitches thrown in this game, 36 of those in the strike zone. He's been good against Brandeis so far today, yet to allow a hit in the game. He's given up just 3 total base runners, a walk, an error, and a hit batter. Working against Chafin here, the 8-hitter in the lineup with 1 out and a runner at first. The meeting on the mound breaks up. We'll see if Stankowski settles in here as he's ready to go with his 2-0 pitch. And that one chopped back to the mound. Stankowski with it. Only play is to first, where he gets the runner for the out. And there are 2 gone in the inning.
Stepping up to bat, left fielder number 4, Evan Reed.
So Crowley now over at second base. First time today that Brandeis has gotten a runner past first. And Evan Reef, the 9-hitter, will be the batter. Reef hit into fielder's choice his first time up. And he cranks the first pitch foul, 0-1. He's batting at .083 on the season in limited plate appearances, 1 for 12 now on the year. The 0-1. And foul tip back, and the count quickly 0-2. Reef, a first-year player out of Kansas. .02 pitch on the way. Up and out for a ball, 1-2. I have to imagine there's not a ton of Kansas residents who end up finding their way to Brandeis. The 1-2. And another one got away there. So Stankowski, a couple of pitches that he just hasn't been able to locate there after getting ahead in the count 0-2. See if he comes back to the fastball here. 6-0 Spartans leading. Top of the 5th inning, the 2-2 on the way. And the fastball sent foul. Count stays at 2-2. Swing and a miss at the inside fastball, strike 3, and that ends the inning. So 1-out walk issued by Stankowski, but he works through it no problem. It will move to the bottom of the 5th. Heart of the order for the Spartans. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen due up. When we come back, they'll face a new pitcher for the Judges when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Judges will be the lefty, Dimitri Skouridis.
Now pitching for the Judges, number 27, Dimitri Skouridis.
Skouridis, a first-year pitcher out of Arlington, Massachusetts. 5'11" lefty. On the season, he's making his 8th appearance overall, including his 7th out of the bullpen. 0-1 with a 6.28 ERA on the year. He does have one save. Through 14 and a third innings, he's given up 22 hits for a 344 opponent's batting average. He's also walked 11 batters, so a lot of base runners this season against Skouridis. He has struck out 11 and will take the hill here, trying to keep it at a 6-run game. Cooper Gavin, his final line, 4 innings pitch. He allowed just 3 hits, but did give up 4 walks, struck out 5. But again, after a rocky start, settled in nicely, and overall a lot to grow on from this outing for Gavin, who, while in line for the loss, is certainly going to be able to take some positives on what he did in the middle innings against a really good Case Western Reserve lineup. Skouridis trying to pick up where he left off, and it's the lefty who comes in to face the first 2 lefties, or I should say 2 lefties to start things off, as the Spartans will send the heart of the lineup to the plate this inning. Powers, Harms, and then Camphausen. And again, getting Powers and Harms out, key if you're Skouridis here, with the way Camphausen has swung the bat the last couple of games. Powers 0 for 1 in the game, a walk and a run scored in his first at bat, and turns on the first pitch from Skouridis and laces it foul, 0-1. He was a little bit out in front of that one. Powers, who was the UAA Athlete of the Week last week, hitter of the week, I should say, drove in 9 runs against Emory. Looking for his first hit of this series, fouls off that pitch, and it's 0-2. Powers batting at .538 against left-handed pitching this season coming into today's game. So, see what he could do here. Takes it for a called strike 3. And Powers down looking. So, Powers really for the first time this season, we've seen him struggle a little bit at the plate. Last 2 games of this series as Nick Harms will stand in. Harms with a walk and a fly out. And that pitch misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Fastball low, 2-0. Harms hitting at .280 on the year. He's got those 33 runs batted in this season. And turns on that, sends it foul, 2-1. You know, Nick, not quite the season he had last year, especially in terms of average, but still very productive at the plate. And he rockets that one deep towards left, back towards the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. A bullet to right field by Harms, who will slide into second base with a double. That's his 8th double of the season, and the Spartans have a runner in scoring position with 1 away for Camphausen. Well, that's one that never quite had the height on it, but almost knocked the wall over in right with the speed at which it was hit. And now Harms over at second base for Dane Camphausen. So another RBI opportunity here for Camphausen, who's hitting at .356 on the year with a grand slam. First pitch foul back towards the press box. Just out of my reach here as the count goes to 0-1. Camphausen 1 for 2, and the 1 out was a loud one. He hit a screeching line drive that King, the third baseman, was positioned perfectly to grab. 0-1 now on Camphausen. Skouridis, the lefty, delivers the pitch, and it's down and in for a ball, 1-1. Strikeouts have been down recently for Camphausen. Power has been up. It's everything's going right for him right now. And he pops that one up. Sky high, foul territory. Zahner giving a long look at it. And that will land out of play, 1-2. Again, 9 home runs on the season for Camphausen. He's driven in 36 runs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he swings and grounds that one through for a base hit. Harms had a hold, and he'll stop at third base, but that'll put runners at the corners now with one away and bring Franco Alonso to the plate.
Now batting, second baseman number 2, Franco Alonso.
Alonso 1 for 2 in the game with a single and a strikeout looking. He's now batting at .333 on the season. Men on the corners, again, a good job by Keeler to step out in front of the plate and signal to the team how they want to play this one. Camphausen, not necessarily a stolen base threat. I'm not sure the Spartans would put a play on here either. Is that one taken down low for a ball by Alonso, 1-0. Skritas trying to keep this at a 6-run game. Remember, we do play these conference games with the 10-run rule, so if the Spartans lead by 10 after 7 innings, 6.5 with the home team leading, that's taken down low. The game can end early, so the Spartans need to add on 4 more runs for that to be a possibility. 2-0 on the way, up high, 3-0, and Skritas in danger of walking Alonso to load the bases with Carinci out on deck. Here's a 3-0. In the dirt, ball 4, and Alonso draws a 4-pitch walk, and that will load them up for Carinci. We'll step up with Harms at third, Camphausen at second, Alonso at first. Carinci 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout swinging, was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Carinci has driven in 9 this year. He's got 3 doubles, 1 home run, hitting a .283 overall, and takes the first pitch up high from the lefty Skritas for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0. And foul back, 1-1. Well, chance here for Carinci to break this game wide open. 1 out, bases loaded. The 1-1 from Skritas, and that's hit in the air, right field, deep but playable. Should get a run in as it's caught out and right by Fried. Runners from second and third tag. Coming in to score is Harms from third. Camphausen moves up a bag. And a sacrifice fly by Carinci now makes it a 7-0 lead for the Spartans. 10th RBI of the year for Carinci. And now Matt Trout coming up with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Once again, Fried will step out in front of the plate, flash some signals. And this is certainly much more of a first and third potential base runner situation here. With 2 outs, as the Spartans might look to put a play on. Alonso not running on the first pitch, and out in front of a breaking ball is Trout as the count goes to 0-1. Trout hitting at .148 on the season, 0 for 2 in the game with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-1, throw down to first, not in time. Again, I would expect Alonso to be moving at some point in this at-bat, as the Spartans try to get another run across in the inning. That ball hit in the air deep towards the left center field gap, but should be playable out there as the center fielder Crowley over makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So the Spartans add a run on a Zach Carinci sac fly. It's 7-0. We'll be back. So Jake Fried leads the inning off against Stankowski, which the first hit of the game for the Judges, singling through the right side of the infield. And so the no-hitter broken up, Fried the leadoff man on, and the first pitch taken down low by Greenaway as the count goes to 1-0. Fried isn't a stolen base threat on the base paths, 4 for 6 on stolen base attempts this year. Swing and a miss there by Greenaway, 1-1. And that one hit the batter. So a rocky start to the 6th here for Stankowski, who's been cruising most of the game. As Fried at second, Greenaway at first with nobody out, and a tough hitter and Eddie Zahner coming to the plate. Zahner 0 for 2 in this one. Was 1 for 4 yesterday. But entered the series as one of the better hitters in this, in fact, the best hitter in this Brandeis lineup. Spartans double play depth in the infield. First pitch taken, a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1 to the lefty Zahner. Oh, and 2 as the fastball catches the inside corner. See if Stankowski can get the first out of the inning. Fastball in the dirt, and it's now 1-2. Archer now up to 74 pitches in the game. Here's his 1-2. And that's outside, 2-2. Looking in at the other UAA game going on today, NYU now with a 7-1 lead over Emory. That game in the bottom of the 4th. So NYU, after losing the first game of that series, as Zahner swings and misses strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. NYU trying to pick up a win in game 2. Batter at the plate now is Brian King. King 0 for 2 in the contest. Ground ball hit, and that'll get through for a base hit. They'll stop the runner at third as Andraco gets it in. I thought they had a chance to send Fried there, but they didn't test Andraco's arm. Instead, loading the bases, knowing that, again, it's a 7-run deficit. Brandeis willing to play station-to-station baseball here, which is probably the smart move as Walsh steps to the plate. Dylan Walsh, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout in his 2 trips. Double play depth in the infield for the Spartans as that misses outside, ball 1. Down low, 2-0. Seven 0 Spartans leading. The Spartans got the first 5 runners of the game on base, including a grand slam for Dane Camphausen, and haven't looked back since, but the Judges threatening here. It's now 3-0 on Walsh with the bases loaded and 1 away. Action starts in the Case Western Reserve bullpen. As that catches the outside corner, 3-1. And it's popped up. Shallow center. Who's going to get it? It'll be the center fielder, Trout, who puts it away for the second out of the inning, and the runners won't be able to advance, and that is a big second out there for Stankowski. So 2 gone now, and Keeler due up. And instead it will be Alex Kim, who we saw as the designated hitter in yesterday's game, who will pinch hit for the catcher Keeler. Kim hitting a 240 on the year. Went 0 for 3 yesterday, but did draw a pair of walks. Struck out twice as well. Kim 6 for 25 on the season. He's driven in a pair of runs and an RBI opportunity for him here with the bases loaded and 2 away. First pitch, breaking ball from Stankowski right down Main Street, taken by Kim for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. And the fastball sprayed foul, 0-2, and now Stankowski a strike away from working around the jam here in the 6th. Brandeis with the bases loaded, 2 away, the pitch from Stankowski. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Archer Stankowski works in and out of trouble in the 6th and keeps the shutout intact. No runs, 2 hits, and 3 left on for the Judges in their half of the 6th. We move to the bottom of the frame. It'll be Arterburn, Andreyko, and Anderson due up for Case Western Reserve when we come back. C.J. Dunston will take over behind the plate for Brandeis after Justin Keeler was pinch hit for last inning. It's 7-0 Case Western Reserve as the Spartans come up to bat here in the 6th. Skritas stays in on the mound. To begin the 6th inning, after giving up a run on 2 hits in the 5th in his first inning of relief, the lefty will face 9-1-2 for the Spartans. Arterburn, Andreyko, and Anderson. And his first pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Arterburn 0 for 1 with the sacrifice fly. Squares to bunt there, pulls it back, and the count goes to 2-0. Arterburn had a play earlier in the game defensively that was just absolutely brilliant. Had to come all the way over from shortstop, dive to take a hit away and keep it from going to the outfield, and then somehow spun around after he got up and managed to make a perfect throw to first to retire the Brandeis hitter. And again, for Arterburn, he has just been fantastic at shortstop for this Case Western Reserve team, a position that the team knew they needed to find some answers for as Arterburn draws the walk there. I think, they always thought Arterburn defensively was going to be a good option. I think the concerns were, could he hit enough to make his way into the lineup every day? And he really has done just that. Again, very similar to Owen Levinson last year for this Case Western Reserve team where, he came into the season where the Spartans thought Levinson, okay, like maybe we could use him here and there, a defensive replacement, Zach Carinci comes in to pitch, those kinds of situations as that misses down and away. And Levinson became the team's everyday shortstop as the season went on. And as the season went on, he also hit better and better. In fact, he was named to the regional all-tournament team last year. And a little bit of a similar path here for Arterburn as that's a called strike, 1-1. Nate's on base. He's stolen 2 bases on 2 attempts this year, shown no signs of running thus far in the at-bat. As working quickly, Skouridis delivers one that's fouled off by Logan Andraco, and the count goes to 1-2 on Logan, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He had a double and a run scored to lead off the game in the first, flew out to center field in the second, drew a walk in the fourth, excuse me. Here's the 1-2. And that's fouled back, 1-2. And that one's popped up. Center field. Crowley makes the catch for the out. 1 gone. Arterburn retreats to first. I'll bring Jack Anderson to the plate, batting here with a runner on and 1 away. Anderson 0 for 2. Spartans really getting the job done so far this weekend without getting a ton out of their top 3 hitters. And Draco, Anderson, and Powers, 2 for 10 yesterday. Combined. Today, they're just 1 for 5. Pardon me, 1 for 7. So, again, those guys get going. All of a sudden, you could see the series really take off here, the offense for the Spartans. That ball misses low, and it's 2-0. Runner on with 1 away. Anderson hitting at .374 on the season. Walked and scored a run back in the first. That one hit hard, but right at the shortstop. Flipped to second for 1, on to first. Double play turned. And that will send us into the 7th. The Spartans leading 7-0 as Brandeis comes up to bat in their half of the 7th. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, the day is done on the mound for Archer Stankowski, who puts together another nice start. He goes 6 innings, gives up just 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts for Stankowski. He throws just 85 pitches in the game, and you wonder if it might be a case of Coach Englander trying to line him up potentially for Wednesday against Denison. It would be on short rest, but it was a short outing for Stankowski, and he'll now give way to Zach Barnes, who will come in relief. Barnes, the first-year player out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, right-hander, set to deliver his first pitch to Crowley, who squares to bunt and bunts it foul, 0-1. Barnes has been a regular out of the bullpen for the Spartans this season. This is his 8th appearance of the year. He's 1-1 with a 5.79 ERA with 1 save. Through 14 innings, he's given up 21 hits. Opponents batting .333 against him, but he's allowed just 10 runs and only 9 of them earned. He has struck out 19 and walked 10. Gets a swing and a miss there, and the count's at 0-2. Ground ball, that one hit towards second. Alonso has to hurry a bit to get it to first in time, but does successfully, and that'll be the first out of the inning. As always, like to say hello to my family that's listening at home. My 4-year-old son Cody, while his sister naps, tuning into the Case Western Reserve baseball game. That one's fouled back by Chafin, 0-1. I'm sure Cody's got his cheat sheet out. He kind of follows the score on the bottom and likes to try to figure out what's going on, as that's fouled back. To the count on Chafin. And he swings and misses strike 3. So 2 quick outs for Barnes as he retires the 7 and 8 hitters in the Brandeis lineup, and that will bring up the left fielder, Evan Reef. Reef 0 for 2 in the game, a fielder's choice and a strikeout swinging. Left-hander awaits the first pitch and takes it outside, ball 1. And that fastball catches the outside corner. 1-1 now the count. Barnes trying to get a couple outs here at the end of the game, pitching in the 7th with a 7-run lead. Fouled back, and the count's at 1-2 now. And so far, so good for Barnes, who is coming off one of his tougher outings of the year last week against Emory. That's in the dirt, 2-2. Barnes took the loss in the only game of the series that the Spartans did lose. Outside, ball 3, 3-2. He's going to be a really good option for this Case Western Reserve team. It's one of those situations where he's got to adjust to college baseball a little bit. And a little outside, ball 4. Good pitch there by Barnes. He didn't miss that outside corner by much, but that'll put a base runner on as he issues the walk to Reef. It's one of those situations where I think if you're Barnes, and I'm sure he was trying to throw a strike there, but you could catch a little bit more of the plate, or at least attempt to, in that situation. With the 9-hitter up, who has just 1 hit on the season, you're leading by 7. That's one where you want to try to avoid at all costs throwing that one out of the strike zone. Back to the top of the lineup now with Jake Freed coming to the plate. Freed got the first hit of the game for Brandeis to lead off the 6th, and then he gets another hit here, dunking one into left field. And Freed's now 2 for 4 in the game. Reef stops at second, so now it's first and second with 2 away for the designated hitter, Jordan Greenaway. Greenaway hitting at .212 on the year. 4 runs batted in for the designated hitter. He's got 2 on here and 2 away in a 7-0 ball game. Barnes with a look back to second, now delivers down low, ball 1, 1-0. Well, the first 2 outs came easy for Barnes. The third one proving to be a bit more elusive. His 1-0 on the way. And a swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt, but both runners will move up on a wild pitch. And so now 2 in scoring position for the Judges. one taken down low, 2-1. Outside corner, count evens 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul back, and the count stays at 2-2. So second and third with 2 away. Greenaway trying to get Brandeis on the board here in the second game of a 4-game series. First game of a doubleheader today. The pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Barnes gets his second strikeout of the inning. The judges leave 2 men stranded in scoring position, and we'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Case Western Reserve leading by a score of 7-0. Heart of the order due up. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen when we come back. Heart of the order once again for the Spartans here in the 7th. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen. Powers trying to get his series going. Still looking for his first hit of the weekend, and instead he's hit by a pitch for the second time this weekend as Skiritis, now in his 3rd inning of relief, hits Powers, and the leadoff man is on for the Spartans. And that'll bring Nick Harms to the plate. Harms almost doubled through the wall in right field. His last time up, he hit a rocket that bounced off the top of the wall and came very close to just knocking it over with the velocity it was hit. Harms homered yesterday. He's batting at .287 on the year and takes ball 1, 1-0. Harms 1 for 2 in the game with 2 runs scored. He's walked once as well. And rockets that one into left, and that's down for a base hit. Powers turns the corner at second. He'll pull into third. The throw is cut off, but then gets away, and that will allow Harms to move up a bag. So that'll be a base hit for Harms and an error. Powers now at third, and that'll bring Dane Camphausen to the plate. And, well, we'll see what happens here with Dane stepping up, batting at .363 on the season. He's got a grand slam already to his name today. A home run here would end the game early. And instead grounds the first pitch foul. Dane 2 for 3 in the game. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times up. A grand slam in the first, a hard line out to third in the third, and a single in the 5th. Facing Skiritis for the second time today. The base hit came off of Skiritis. Camphausen now 6 for 12 for 500 batting average against lefties this year. And he takes that one inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Nobody out, 2 in scoring position. Camphausen pops that one up, fouling out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. One and two the count on Camphausen. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled back. Camphausen got a pitch to hit there, but got handcuffed just a little bit. Fastball from Skiritas bearing in on his hands. Now another 1-2 to Camphausen. Up high, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And misses inside. Full count, 3-2. And if you're Skiritas here, you need to resist the urge to just get a fastball over with a 3-2 count and first base open. Franco Alonso waiting out on deck. And ball 4, and that will load the bases and put the potential game-winning runs on the base paths for the Spartans here with Franco Alonso coming to the plate. Well, as Camphausen continues to crush the baseball, that makes Alonso's role in this lineup more and more impactful because he's going to start seeing more and more RBI opportunities at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a walk. And takes the first pitch fastball in the inner portion of the plate for a called strike 0-1. Alonso now hitting at .333. He's got the bases loaded here. And he fouls that one back 0-2. Again, the Spartans with 3 runs this inning can put an early end to the game with the 10-run rule in effect. They have nobody out. Those potential 3 runners on the base paths. Alonso behind in the count, 0-2. Skiritas delivers. And swung on, grounded up towards the middle. Could be 2. Steps on the bag for 1 on to first. In time, double play turned. A run does come in to score to make it an 8-0 lead, but no RBI for Alonso on the double play. Camphausen out on the play. Harms to third. And it's now 8-0 with Zach Carinci stepping up with a runner at third and 2 outs. First pitch to Carinci, up high, ball 1. So the Spartans increase their lead by a run. That one misses outside, ticks off the catcher's glove, and it's 2-0. So 2 outs now with a runner at third. And up and in, 3-0. See if Carinci is swinging here, 3-0. And he is, but he fouls it back, 3-1. Three-one from Skiritas to Carinci. And that ball hit in the air, left field, but right at the left fielder. Now coming in, reaching down, and making the catch is Reef. And that ends the inning. So the Spartans load the bases with nobody out, but a double play and a fly out. Avoid extensive damage. The Spartans do get a run on a hit, and we will move along into the 8th. It's 8-0 Case Western Reserve. Heart of the order for Brandeis. Zahner, King, and Walsh due up when we come back. 8-0, Case Western Reserve leading over Brandeis. As we begin the 8th. That one's fouled back, and the count goes to 0-1. Now the 0-1 on the way. And that's hitting the air deep towards right field. Back, though, is Harms, and at the edge of the warning track makes the catch for the out to retire Zahner. And Barnes gets the first out here in the 8th, so one retired. That will bring up the third baseman, Brian King. King 1 for 3 in the game, one of the 3 base hits so far today for the Judges. Misses down low for a ball. Ground ball hit towards third. Powers gloves it and gets King out as he retires his counterpart on the ground ball hit to third. And there are 2 gone now with the bases empty for Dylan Walsh. Well, Game 2 coming up approximately half an hour after this one ends, and the Spartans have a couple players this season that you certainly get excited every time you see them play, and they'll have one of those pitching in Game 2 with Quinn Saunders set to take the mound and get the start. You know, we've seen that from Archer. Stankowski, who started today and once again had another strong outing. We saw Reese Marley strike out a bunch of batters, but Saunders has been the best strikeout pitcher for Case Western Reserve. As that one lands foul, Powers couldn't quite get underneath it, and it's a 1-1 count. Powers upset with himself for that one. Spartans catch a break that ball did land in foul territory. No error on the play. Those drop foul ball errors, you really have to be camped out underneath it to get charged with one of those. Especially on a ball down that third baseline and deep in left field. As a called strike brings the count to 1-2 on Walsh. You know, the third baseman's going back. He gets turned around after a long run. That's not one you can fault him for. The 1-2 pitch on the way. And it's down Main Street for a called strike 3. And that will end the inning. So Barnes with a 1-2-3 8th, and the Spartans will move into the bottom half of the 8th inning with an 8-0 lead. Due up for Case Western Reserve this inning, Trout, Arterburn, and Andraco when we return. Welcome back as the Spartans leading 8-0. As we move along to the bottom of the 8th, again, it's 2 runs for the Spartans this inning, and they can put the game to an early end. Otherwise, we'll go at least another half an inning. If you're Brandeis, again, there's a lot of positives that you can take from this game, despite the score being as lopsided as it is, particularly from a pitching perspective. Again, the Spartans scored 5 runs in this game before getting an out. And since then, the Brandeis pitching staff has allowed just 3 runs till that point. A pinch hitter will come up here for Case Western Reserve to start the inning as Tyler Stilson will pinch hit for Matt Trout to get things going. So Trout will be the pinch hitter. Pardon me, Stilson will be the pinch hitter for Trout. And the first pitch he sees on the day pops it up to center field, and making the catch is the center fielder Crowley for the first out, 1 gone.
Now batting shortstop number 4, Nate Arterburn.
That'll bring up Nate Arterburn with one away and the bases empty. Well, it was talking about it a little before the previous inning ended, but it'll be fun to watch Quinn Saunders get another start in here in Game 2. And Saunders, who didn't have his best stuff against Emory last week, still, I think, struck out, was it 4 batters, 6 batters, something along those lines. Again, he had a program record 14 strikeouts earlier this season, had another game where he struck out 12. The 14 strikeouts, I think, came in 6 innings. The 12 strikeouts came in 5. I mean, he is a guy who, when he is on, he can strike out a lot of guys, and we'll talk about it more in the second game, but he is just fun to watch, and so make sure you don't go too far between games so you can catch that one. It's 1-2 now as Skritas ahead in the count on Arterburn. Arterburn walked in his only trip to the plate today against Skritas, that back in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2. And that ball hit in the air, down the line and left. Coming over is Reef, and he'll make the catch for the second out. So Arterburn retired. 2 quick outs by Skritas. And back to the top of the order for Logan Andreyko, who is coming up to the plate with the bases empty and 2 away. And Draco 1 for 3 in the game with a couple flyouts to center to go along with a double and a walk. Logan's hitting at .320 on the year. And he pops that one up in the infield. See who has it. Third baseman there. King puts it away. And a quick 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th. Last chance for the judges. It's 8-0 Case Western Reserve when we come back. First at bat of the game for C.J. Dunston, who came in the game as a defensive replacement, as he takes it down low to start off the 9th. Zach Barnes looking for a save here. It would be a 3-inning save, even with the team leading 8-0. Still counts as that one grounded over towards third, now short, and it's bobbled there. And that will go. We'll see what the call is here. It'll go as an infield hit for Dunston. Who's on at first now. And we'll bring Crowley to the plate, who takes the ball. That one hit towards second. Handcuffs. Alonso, who's still able to make the flip and get the out, and there's one gone.
Stepping up to bat, number 5, the shortstop.
So good job to stay with that one by Alonso, and there's one out in the inning. And a called strike brings the count to 0-1 on Matt Chafin. Bottom of the order here for Barnes to try to pick up the save. It would be his second of the year. And that pitch taken in the dirt. Nope, swung at in the dirt. And that'll be strike 2. Moving up to second on a wild pitch is Crowley. And so he's now in scoring position as the Judges try to get on the board here. And it's chopped foul. Count stays at 0-2. And a bit up high. The 1-2 offering. And fouled up in the air and out of play. Count stays at 1-2. And in the dirt, gets away again. And that will allow the runner to move up to third base. So one of the better scoring opportunities of the day for the Judges so far. It's a 2-2 count on Chafin is the pitch on the way. And again, Chafin just getting a piece of it to stay alive. Chafin really fighting off a couple of pitches here. Judges trying to prevent the shutout. 2-2. Outside corner, called strike 3. Barnes gets the strikeout, and the Spartans now an out away from a victory here.
Now batting, number 4, the left fielder, Evan Reed.
And a swing and a miss by Reef, who is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Last chance here for Brandeis, down to their final out in the 9th. It's 8-0 Case Western Reserve. Runner at third for the Judges. Here's the 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Reef drew a walk against Barnes back in the 7th inning, in Barnes' first inning of work. A swing and a miss there, and the count is 1-2, and Brandeis now down to their final strike. The 1-2 on the way to Reef. Barnes shakes off a couple of signs. Now his 1-2 offering. And staying alive, poking that one foul, is Reef. Chop foul. Once again, the 1-2 on the way from Barnes. In the air, deep towards right field, but Harms has it lined up, puts it away for the out, and that'll do it. The Spartans take game 2 of the series behind a really good pitching effort, a grand slam in the first inning by Dane Camphausen. And Case Western Reserve has now won the first 2 games here as the Spartans, with a 8-0 win in game 1 of the doubleheader. We'll begin game 2 in about half an hour, but first let's get you caught up on game 1. Brandeis drops to 4-15 with the loss. Case Western Reserve improves to 19-6. The Spartans also 5-1 in conference play. Brandeis 0-2. Winning pitcher today is Archer Stankowski. He's now 5-1 on the year. The save goes to Zach Barnes. That's his second save of the season. The loss goes to starting pitcher Cooper Gavin. He is 0-1. The game lasted 2 hours and 11 minutes. Attendance here was 237 at the ballpark today. Want to thank everyone for joining us for Game 1. Game 2 again about half an hour or so away. Make sure you refresh the page you're watching on. It'll be updated there in a little bit. Once again, final score here from Nobby's Ballpark in Game 1. Case Western Reserve wins 8-0. We'll see you in a couple minutes for Game 2.